All right. What up, y'all? It's Nasty Nate. Welcome back to the That Talk podcast. I got a special guest today. My guy, Edgar. Man, we go way back, bro.
We go back, bro.
We went to school together for like a good, I think you lasted like a week?
I think it was like a month because I was, we'll get into the whole details, but I was only living there temporarily.
Yeah, because you're originally from...
From Renton.
Okay, from
right
Renton.
outside of Seattle.
Okay, so Seattle area. And then you came down to Longview to go to school because you were going to live with your brother and all that.
Yep.
That's how we originally met.
Yep.
And then obviously I worked for your brother and your sister, and we worked together. So we go back far. So kind of tell everybody, a little bit about yourself, who you are, what you do.
So I'm a just full-blown entrepreneur. So I do music. I'm starting a clothing line, and I'm a bar and beverage director for Margarita Factory. So we got 8 restaurants out here in Oregon and Washington, and we're about to extend into Idaho and California.
Bro.
So it's
big moves.
Full-time every direction.
Yeah, big moves.
For sure.
I'm interested in your music. Kind of talk to me because I kind of remember your journey a little bit. Like I remember your brother, because I was actually when you moved, I was really close with your brother. Like he was like trying to mentor me and trying to put me on, trying to give me little jobs here and there. And he was telling me, Edgar's into music and and I'm trying to help him and all this stuff. And then I saw you kind of like fade away from it. My interest is what brought you back into it because I know you love it. And I've had those type of relationships with the bike where I go away from it because but I have a reason in my head and it's not necessarily positive. It's kind of like I'm kind of mentally fighting with how much I love this thing. So I walk away from it because I need a break. Like talk to me about... Because I know you've always been into music. I know you've always loved it. So talk to me about where was the break come from? Like, was it needed mentally or, you know what I mean?
It was pretty crazy. So let me tell you, I went through cancer. So I'm in remission.
Yeah, exactly. So that's what,
thank God. Just celebrated testicular cancer.
Okay.
So stage 2B, and then it went to my lymph nodes. So I don't know if you guys know about lymph nodes, but what happens is they're all connected. So once it goes to your lymph nodes, a lot of the times it's a wrap, right? So what happens is it'll go through one and it will spread like rapid fire. And so it went to my lymph nodes. I had to get a bunch of surgeries. So my life went from being like, okay, you got a 75% survival rate to like 5%.
Wow.
Like overnight.
Wow.
So we were just tripping, and then I just had back to back surgeries. Now during that time, I had a lot of downtime, since I was just focused on surviving, basically. And I was making music because I've always loved music. I've always made music, but I was getting serious. It's the love of my life since I was a little kid. It just, I thought everyone researched everything about artists and music videos and how to do this and that. I thought it was a normal thing for everybody until I got older. And then I was like, no, I think I have like a special bond with music and music videos and entertainment and just artists and celebrities in general, just because they interest me, like their come up story. Like
I've always been
very interesting.
Yeah, I've always been intrigued with motivation. Like
Sure.
You know what I mean? Like what makes these people survive these situations like yourself, and that's why I was super excited to have you on, because I really wanted to pick your brain about. I'm huge on the mentality because I know that if you don't have mental, you have nothing. Like you could be the GOAT at whatever you do, but if you don't have the mindset, it's not happening.
100%,
So
100%.
I want to talk to you a little bit about what you were going through during that time when you were kind of laid up. Like what kept you going? What kept you like... I'm big on energy and I'm big on the body and the mind work together. So I think if you would have gave up, you wouldn't be here.
I know for a fact that's
true. I mean, you know what I'm saying? So, but it's like only people that have been in those types of situations understand that. So take me a little bit through your mindset when you were going through that. Like, how did you stay positive? How did you, like...
It was wild. It's something that's hard to explain.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Because... First of all, glory to God. That was number one. That's the
Yeah.
key ingredient. Just want to say that. That's very important.
100%.
So with me, it's kind of a weird story. So I'll give a little bit of backstory and then get into it, and I'll answer both questions about like why I took a break from music too. I was living in Seattle with one of my cousins, and I was just living a crazy life. During that time, I was still doing some entrepreneurship, but in a bad way. And I was just living a way I didn't need to live. You know, I was selling drugs and kind of getting into it a little bit too, which was just not a good look. But I when you're in that world, it's really easy to fall into it. I was making a lot of money. And so I literally had an epiphany one day and woke up and I was like, damn, like it's going good, but like it's going too good. This is freaking me out.
It's not sustainable.
And not at all.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
you know
yeah.
something's like you're on some shitty
It's
foundation.
literally not legit. Like,
Yeah, like what are you gonna do with it?
you
Like,
can't get a
do
loan
nothing.
off that. Like, you
I
can't
found that
build
out
credit
too.
off that.
I found that out too. I was like, there's no hood credit or nothing. So I just got kind of in my head because I've seen, you know, people unfortunately like die, get killed over there and just over stupid shit. So I woke up and was like, fuck it, I'm going to call my family and just tell them like, hey, I need to go down with you guys. And so literally my dad came and picked me up that night. I came over here and then I just kind of had a moment of a lot of vulnerability and gave myself up to God. Was like, all right, God, and this is where I went right and wrong at the same time. I was like, all right, God, if you're real, then I need you to prove it. Which you got to be careful with your words, ladies and
Yikes.
gentlemen, because
Yeah.
you will get what you ask for.
Ooh,
And,
bro, that is so real. That is so real.
It's crazy.
So he put you in a situation to make you have faith, basically.
100%.
And you got,
He gave me what I needed,
bro,
and
you got kicked in the nuts.
bad, bro. Literally.
That is crazy. I'm so glad that you like shared that. That's insane.
It's an amazing story, and I just want, you know, someone else going through it to be able to like have the mentality, and I'm kind of gonna try to help him get it by just saying that happened. And so nothing happened for a couple days. I felt the same, whatever, and then I just kept having pains in like my left testicle. And was like, fuck, okay, at this point I'm having night sweats.
Yeah.
I don't feel good. I can't sleep, and it's hard to walk now because I'm just like, it hurts so bad. And all those guys know, like, when you hurt down there, you can't do shit.
Yeah,
you can't even think.
Yeah.
Straight up. So from there, I went to a church, which I was never a churchgoer back then. And I went and did like a Catholic confession and just kind of like did my thing with that. And literally the next day I was supposed to go to work. And I tell my mom, hey, I'm going to have to drive myself to the ER. Like, I can't walk, and I know something's not right. And she's like, well, why'd you pack a backpack? I was like, I feel like I'm going to be there for a minute, you know? And she was
Bro,
like,
you knew.
I knew, bro. Especially now in hindsight, you can see, like, the whole shit, how it played out. 100% knew.
Wow. So you kind of like, something was telling you that this is like something's up. Like this, like I'm not. This isn't just gonna be like a regular trip to the doctor. Okay.
I could feel that it was something. I didn't know what it was, but another quick PSA, like two other doctors told me it was just a hernia. So if you know something's wrong,
Keep your gut.
Keep your gut. Go with your gut. Go with what your body and like your soul is telling you. Like something ain't right, you know. And I knew this ain't a hernia. I wouldn't be tripping like this. So went to the ER. Finally, the ER doctor caught it and did a CAT scan and ultrasound and stuff. And I remember the technician in there that was helping her was like a young kid. He was like 19, 20, and was like, "Oh, I've never seen her gone this long." And I was like, bro, shut up. Like, get out of here. And that's when I knew something was wrong.
Yeah.
An hour passes. She comes back into the room, takes me into the other room, and she's like, hey, do you want to wait for your family to get here? Do you want to call them? Or do you want me to like lay it on you right now? Right?
And you were probably tripping.
Believe it or not at all.
No.
Believe it or not, and I'm not even trying to act hard or nothing. This just goes with the rest of the story. It's just, it's amazing. It's something I can't even take credit for. And so she's like, I was like, well, you already told me what you need to tell me by saying that. So go ahead and lay it on me.
I feel it. Yeah.
And she's like, well, we don't know, but we think you have cancer, testicular cancer. Wow. And I was like,
okay.
Shit, okay. Yeah. And I talk about it a little bit in one of my songs called By Design. But then she kind of starts crying because she's an ER doctor. She's not used to. She's not an oncologist, so she's not
Gotcha.
used to like
Yeah.
laying that on people.
Yeah.
And she started crying because she said like she couldn't believe that I was like not freaking out. She's
Yeah.
like, it's okay to cry, do whatever. I'm
yeah.
like, no, I just need to know what we need to do next. Like I need to
Yeah.
like start, you know? She's like, well, you're gonna have to go into emergency surgery tomorrow, and then we're gonna set you up with an oncologist, and then your journey begins, right?
Okay.
So I literally went into surgery, got cut up. I'm cut up here, cut up here. I got like, they went through my ribs over here, over here. I got chopped up. Like I couldn't even walk for like 10 months. But what was I getting at? Yeah, so that's how I found out about cancer. And now the mentality part, like something just flipped. And for me, it was my faith. It gave me the strength that I needed. And I did not, I only cried during cancer one time. And it was out of frustration because I had to sit and sleep like this for 10 months because I was cut up so much and had such big like fluid tubes in me.
I mean,
couldn't
there's,
move.
and you can't like, bro, yeah, that's
Bro,
crazy.
and I'm a goer. Like I'm go. So I was just like fucking trapped. And that's when I really dove into the music.
Do you think that, I know obviously not everybody's religious is going to be listening to this, so, take whatever you believe in, whether it's the universe, God, whatever,
Yeah,
kind
do
of
you.
spiritual thing that you have going on. Do you think that that was a way for your spirit or your faith or belief to go, yo, you need to slow down. You need to appreciate the good things. Like the times where, because I'm like that too. So go. When we go, sometimes we miss out on the best moments.
100%.
And sometimes we don't, I've gotten better at it, but like actually celebrating what is going on in the moment. And a big thing for me in 2020 was I always make a vision board, and the top of it said, be where you are. Be where you are.
Like, be present.
Like wherever you're at right in this moment, because bro, I'm like all over the place. Like if I'm sitting somewhere, I'm generally thinking about something else, the future, a way to make money, a way to do something, right? Do you think that that was good for you to be able to, you know what? No, sit your ass down for a little
100%.
bit. Okay, cool.
100%.
Like,
It was the best thing. I think people on a very small scale got a taste of it during COVID if you were out of work.
If you're out of work.
Because you had time to reflect and like really think about like what is it that I want to do and how the fuck I've just been on autopilot like this whole fucking time.
Or COVID could have ate you alive.
Or that too.
Yeah.
I mean, it just depends how you want to take it. I mean, each person is gonna view it differently depending on their mindset. But so yeah, during that time, I just went into music. So I never knew how to do like any audio engineering, any mixing, any mastering. I just knew how to freestyle at parties and make songs, but then have someone have to help me, you know?
Yeah, of course.
So during that time, I just did it on GarageBand, honestly, and Logic. I just started fucking with it and just
In the hospital?
in the hospital. I have video of it too.
Let's go,
They were
let's
like,
go,
what
yeah.
the fuck?
Yeah.
So I'd go to chemotherapy and I would literally just spend the whole time learning how to audio engineer.
Dude.
'Cause I was like, all right, I wanted to learn how to mix. Like, how
Yeah.
do people do auto tune? How do
Yep,
they do this?
yep,
How do they do
yep,
that?
yeah.
I spent all day, all night, every day focused on that. Like I couldn't even move even if I wanted. So
You're obsessed.
I was obsessed.
Yeah.
Like the feeling that I had when I watched and listened to music, I could finally achieve that by making it, you know?
Talk to me a little bit. There's a fine line there, and I said it, and I kind of slept up there. Passion versus obsession, because everybody that you hear, like a big, I would say, and I don't firmly believe that you have to meet your mentor, but a big mentor for me is Conor McGregor. I'm not super into like the material shit or like the wild shit that he does when he's like throwing chairs and shit, but I'm really into his attitude with manifesting. Like when people think that he's on stage like talking shit to this other person, he's really not talking to them. He's talking to himself.
Yeah, 100%.
And that's why he jacks himself up so much. But he always says, like, whatever you do, and if you want to do it at a level that I do it, you have to be slightly obsessed. But I think that it's not necessarily obsession. I think it's passion. Like when you don't when you don't see yourself doing anything else, that's when you work to that level. But I think obsession is where it's like a codependent thing where you need it. But I think what you're talking about that I've experienced with the bike is that I love this more than I could ever love anything else. And that's why I work, and that's why I do what I do, because, you know, all the risks that I take, the reward is so much greater because I have so much passion for this thing. And I'm not going to lie, I have gone back and forth with passion, obsession. And I noticed when I was obsessed is when I was competing with other people. But when I was competing with myself, it was pure passion, bro.
Because
So
you can ride the journey,
Yeah.
not focus on someone else's race.
exactly.
trying to catch
So
up.
so do you feel like that's what it was? Like it just like the most passion you could get out of something that you love. It was like, you know, when you're working like that and you don't even know you're working like
Yeah.
that, that's when you know you love it.
It's the best, dude. There's nothing like that. Like I'm a married man now, and you know we're starting a family, whatever. But it's tough because you got to be a responsible man and take care of your woman,
Yeah,
and you
of
got
course.
to manage your time.
Yeah.
But when I'm like, hey, baby girl, like I really got to get into music mode.
Yep.
I can be in my room in my little like home studio for 3 days, not eat or like just drink water, literally not even think about it because you're just into it, coming up with
Yeah.
different concepts,
I
looking at
love it.
videos,
Yeah, I love it.
studying people to get motivated. Like even people that are not rappers.
Yeah, so give me a couple people that you like that influence you.
I'm gonna go Nipsey Hussle.
Yeah, I knew
on
that
a
one.
lot of different fronts.
Yeah, I knew that one.
Yeah, that guy is just out of this world. You know, rest in peace.
He was ahead of his time.
Big time.
Yeah.
He did a lot of stuff that a lot of people try to do. Kind of like the rapper Russ too. Shout out to him because the way that they did it independent is just they got it out the mud. Like you just started something from scratch, didn't need anyone to make a platform for you, and you just stayed on your fucking journey and built it and built it and built it and built it.
We have an issue with delayed gratification
Yup.
in this world, and I feel like those guys are a prime example of what delayed gratification can do for you. I don't know what it is about music, but I study the music industry. I don't know why. I'm not even really super into
interesting.
music, but it really is interesting. And I've studied Russ's story and how he was making 100K on his SoundCloud,
Yup.
and then he took that leverage to the label,
Yup.
got an album deal, and then they couldn't touch all the other songs in his catalog. And it's like, then he got all the multi-million-dollar marketing for all the other shit that they couldn't touch.
Yup.
Crazy.
Genius, because
Genius.
he'll be getting a paycheck from those songs for the rest of his life. Like,
Yeah.
think about, let's say, a song from our time that was old school, like I Got Five on it, right? So I don't know. I know E40 is independent, but I don't know about Loonies and all them. But if that's their song and no one owns it, they're
They'll
getting
get
checks
paid forever.
forever. Now imagine doing
Which
that
I'm
with the
sure
whole catalog.
Yeah, which I'm sure they don't own it.
I don't think so,
yeah.
but I could
Who knows?
be wrong.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? So it just builds up and builds
So that's
up.
kind of that's what I want to step into next. Is that's kind of your goal?
100%.
Okay, cool.
I cancer taught me a lot about patience and riding the wave and just following the journey. And it's kind of more about the journey to me than the end game because, you know, I've been broke. I've had a little bit of money. I've been in between. I already got to have enough to where like I realized that shit doesn't fulfill me. So I can get something. It legitimately does not. I promise you. Doesn't mean I'm not gonna go buy myself a gold chain every once in a while.
Of course.
Because I earned it. It's like a milestone. But I don't chase that anymore at all. I chase the journey, bro. And I'm married to the game. I'm married to the hustle. I love hustling.
Rewind that for me because I experienced that too. So I had these goals that were of material and of like milestone. And then I didn't even realize that I got there because it was,
Right?
it was,
You never do.
Because it was it's
crazy.
a never ending thing.
100%.
Like my goal was, I'll never forget, bro, when I started riding these bikes, I was like 20 and I was like, when I get, older, I'm going to live in a nice house with a nice car, with a nice woman, and with 3 of these bikes. I woke up one day and that's what I had. And I had no idea. And I was pissing it all away because I was so ungrateful. And because it doesn't fulfill you.
And never will.
And it's crazy. And I'm so glad that, you've experienced that and to be able to talk about it because, tell me what it's like to get to that point and then, have those experiences. And then also now to where you're at now to where, you know, you could go, yeah, you know what, I really could go get everything that I want, but I know it doesn't do that for me, because that, you know, that's where I was at when I was working with you guys. I was like, bro, I really could have the truck that I want. I really could move if I wanted to. I really could have all the shit that I want, but why am I not happy?
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So talk to me a little bit about that.
Because you gotta, like, with the material things and stuff, like I said, it's just very short term, like, gratification and like, you know what I mean?
Yep.
And if you put your self-worth in those things, you're never really gonna amount to what you think you will be, because you just can't measure it with that. So basically what I'm trying to say is, like, I love growth now.
Yep.
Right? Not to be cliche or whatever everyone's talking about that, but I legitimately love growth.
Because
I
that's
love looking
what
back.
feeds you, bro.
1000%.
Yeah, man, I just, and it's crazy. I wish, you know, anybody listening right now, like, we've both been there. Like, just try your absolute best to see these moments and take this advice, because these things, they don't do anything for you. And you know, all the things that you think that you want, that, you know, I'm going to be happy once I get here. I'm going to be happy once I have that. I'm going to be happy once I have this. Like, the best moment is right now, not the moment that's to come. Yeah. And to fully have that experience like you've had, or, you know, like where you had to dial it all the way back and go, man, I really have to start over, you know, multiple times, like with financially, like with physically, with cancer, like those moments that you had to go all the way back to square one and build it back up. You know, that's so much sweeter than anything that you could buy, anything that you could purchase.
It is.
Because these moments can't be bought, you know. And I have a saying that I'm gonna make some T-shirts out of, so watch out for them. It's gonna say, I have dreams that money can't buy, because you can't buy them. Like, you know, doing a packed out show, no matter how much money you give somebody, that you can't buy that. You cannot buy doing a packed show. Yep. Like, you can't. It can't be purchased. You know, like
that feeling,
right?
You not even with $100 million.
Yeah, you can't buy it.
You can't achieve that.
And you know, with me, with the bike, like, you know, being a Nike athlete, that's my goal. Like, I can't buy that. I can't pay them to say, hey, put me on a poster. They don't need my money. Yep. Like, you know, and those are the experiences that you need to chase. Is stuff like that. So
that's what's gonna bring you joy and happiness, make you fulfilled, and look yourself in the mirror and just, you know, be like, as a man, I'm handling my business, and
be proud too.
And be proud. You can walk around, you walk a little different, you look at situations different, and you know how to have patience during adversity. Yep. So you might get lost in the moment for a minute. I'm not gonna say I don't. Like, it just happened to me the last couple months. I got a couple of videos out. I got some views, whatever. It's nothing in the grand scheme of things, but it was better for me. I didn't even enjoy that moment, because I was like, okay, fuck, I need to line up 2-3 more videos. Yeah. You know what I mean? I'm not doing enough. When I was already maxed out, going to work.
Take those wins, bro.
You got to take the wins,
take the
right?
wins, yeah.
Let's say this video gets 100 views, right? And then we do another one, and that one gets 400 views. That's a win, even though it's on a very small scale.
You know what's crazy is that this video gets 100 views, we're still winning, because we impacted 100 people. Like,
exactly.
For somebody, bro, you know how blessed we are in these times to be able to say that us sitting here for an hour could affect hundreds of people. Like, bro, the internet has blessed us in such a big way, honestly. Like, and that, you know, that's kind of the way I look at it. Like, I did that with YouTube. I was like, man, I don't have no subscribers, like, you know, but I would have people reach out to me and go, bro, like, you know, I love your writing and it's super dope, but like, your podcast is like really hitting home for me. Like, that's what's important. Like, the bike is great, but the bike is a byproduct of me being self-developed. Yep. Like, I can't kill it on the bike if I'm not the best version of myself, because I don't think that I can do the tricks that I do. I don't have the confidence. I don't have the mindset. I don't have the money to put money into all these things are a byproduct to be able to do what I love to do. And that's what, to me, you know, this area of my brand is what's most important. Getting up, like, linking up with dudes like you, like, you know, we've been talking about this forever. Like, this is, for sure. This is what feeds me. It's like being able to have these conversations, because every single time I do something like this, I'm so jacked afterwards, and I'm so juiced, and I'm so 100%. Motivated. Like, and it's so cool to see you be in a place you're at, because, bro, you could totally be content with where you are. I know you're making great money, but you're like, you know what, like, and that's something that I really, really respect about you a lot. And this is what people need to understand about this guy, is that he's in an area in his life in one way where he could totally put 120 into it and he would be in the top 10% of income in America. But he chooses to work on a dream. Like, if that
100%.
doesn't speak volumes about somebody, because bro, some people had the opportunities that you have, they'd throw their dreams away.
100%.
They would throw their dreams
100%.
away because I'm too busy. This job pays me too much money. What do I need to work on this for? Because I'm going to make these songs and it's going to take me 5, 6, 7, 8 years to see anything from it, right?
Yep.
Most people wouldn't do that. So that's why I love following your journey. I love listening to your music. I listen to all your music. I love watching your stuff. I'm excited to work with you in the future.
Hell yeah. Me too.
Because
Likewise.
it's gonna be crazy, bro. And I'm so happy to see you doing what you love to do. Like, big respects to you. I tell my girl all the time, like, I'm like, babe, Edgar could totally just be chilling right now, but he's working on a dream. Like, I just love it, bro. I love it.
It's dope because the reason I wanted to do this podcast, especially with you too, is because like most people in hip hop or any genre usually do it kind of backwards. So they'll have their music, they build that up, and then they go and build businesses and stuff after.
Yeah.
But we already built businesses, and then now we're doing it the opposite.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? But it's cool because they go hand in hand. As far as like, I stopped treating music as a dream, and I started treating it as a business.
Yep.
But it doesn't feel like I'm working because I love it.
Sometimes I think the problem is that, for me anyways, I don't, this is, you'd have to give me your opinion on it. I feel as though I kind of had to do it different because I've been riding this bike for so long and haven't really seen anything from it. I had to go, you know what? I need to make an income that will pay me enough to have enough free time to do it now.
Yep.
So I kind of had to step away a little bit. And that's why I'm heavy in the videography right now, because I know if I do...
It's amazing, by the way.
I know that if I do what I'm doing and I do it well, I can make more money, which I have already, in 2 days than I have in a month.
Yep.
So guess what? Now I have 25 other days to ride this bike.
Yep.
But right, so now you have the income where you're like, you know what? Like, I know you're not that kind of dude, but if you had to, you could take a week off. And everything's fine. The bills are paid. That's what stresses people out, I feel like, is working on the dream without having an income to kind of back it. So, everybody that's listening, if you have like, a side hustle, like, don't be afraid to get a job to feed your side hustle. That's the whole point.
Yes.
If you're not making it in your area right now, don't trip. Do not trip. Anybody, like, these people are one-off type of people that just jump into their dream and just make it. Like, that's just like, it can happen 100%.
It can happen,
but that's a one-off, bro.
100%.
So, that's what him and I are both like working full-time to feed the dream.
Yep.
Like, I mean,
100%.
really. So
every extra penny I have goes into it right now.
So what are your plans for the future, bro? Talk to me about
the future.
Yeah.
Whew, there's a lot, but I'm delegating time to all of them. So with the restaurants, I want to, now I'm at, director level, like right below the CEO and COO. And so I'm just trying to, on that end, get more on the investor side of things by growing the music, right? So the way I look at it is like, it's a pie chart. So that's a whole piece of pie. And right now, restaurants and bars are my biggest chunk of the pie, right? And then you have music, apparel, etc., right? I'm going to focus on the biggest piece as far as time for now on that one while I work like on the side ones, and until one slice, which I want it to be music, and I'm going to make sure it happens. Once that one is, okay, this one is either matching it or a bigger piece of the pie, then I can shift and get on an investor level and be like, all right, look, listen, I know
you're always moving the pieces around.
Yeah. Exactly. Because like I said, I'm married to the hustle. Like I love building businesses and growing and doing all that. Not as much as music, but very close. Like that's why Nipsey Hussle's such a big figure. Gary Vee, Eric Thomas. Because you
huge.
can do all these things. You just got to be disciplined. And that's
Yeah.
the part that people have a hard time with. Like, there is not very many times I can say I'm, like, chilling on the couch, like, post it up.
Yeah, so talk to me a little bit about, because what I don't, my big thing for this brand is I don't want people to think just because the way we talk that we got it all figured out.
Yeah,
so,
not by any means.
So talk to me a little bit about, like, what's a vice for you? Like, do you have something where you're like, man, this really still gets me, like, this really still wastes my time, let's be honest. Like, and for me, mine is, I have this on my phone background. It says stop doing shit.
Yeah.
Stop doing, because I'll look at my phone, bro. I'll be on it. Mine is my phone, so I'll be on my phone a lot. So that's why it's here. I'm like, stop. My phone says stop doing shit that doesn't matter.
Yep.
Scrolling on Instagram doesn't matter, bro. It really doesn't.
It does not.
It does. I always ask myself, like, and I have my Forex app on my phone. I'm like, bro, go look at that app. If you really need stimulation from your phone, go look at the app that can make you money.
Yep.
Stop looking at shit that doesn't matter, you know? So talk to me a little bit, like, you know, do you have something, you know? And how do you work through it?
I think this is probably a weird one because it's just watching too many videos on YouTube of people that motivate me is fine in doses. But sometimes you need to be like, all right, I gathered the info.
You have enough.
I have enough. Let me go put it
Do
to work.
something about it. There
Exactly.
we go.
So
Okay.
like, but to me, it's almost like an excuse to take a moment off for a second
because you're like, I'm being motivated right now.
Yeah, so
you can't tell me that I'm doing something wrong.
100%.
Totally.
So that's the thing is I now want to be more in the present and not just living through like vicariously through other people, but like through myself. And now I want to create the content for other people to watch. So
because then you
know?
can be motivated by your own shit.
Yeah, that happens too.
Yeah.
I mean, there's just so many ups and downs, and sometimes you got to remember the mentality that you were in during an up.
Yep.
So you can be like, shit, like I'm that same dude. Like I got to get back into that.
Yeah,
mode.
and see, I was kind of on that same thing that you were on. I was like, well, I'm not wasting my time because I'm listening to something positive. And you know what's crazy is that I was listening to an ET video, bro. And I was at a point.
Shout out ET.
Shout out to ET. And I was at a point in my life where I was like, I should have been making a move, but I wasn't. And bro, I kid you not, I cannot make this up. I put this on my son. I was listening to ET, and he was doing his thing, and he was like, you know, when he gets going on his tangents, right? And he kind of just like talks about shit that don't even make sense. He started screaming, and he was like, "You've already listened to enough of my videos. Go do something." Shit. And I was like.
You're like, I gotta go. You're like, damn, ET.
I was like, is he talking like what? I was like, where is this guy? Like, bro, it was like he literally, and I was like, wow, he's right, bro. I've been listening. I've listened to every single one of these videos. So I think for me, what I do is I always kind of come up with little phrases that just resonate with me so much that I'm able to just stay motivated, so I don't have to reach for that. And for me, this year. Seeing my son born was the greatest thing that I've ever experienced in my life, and watching my girl go through that with no medication and fight so hard. My thing is like she wanted to give up, but she didn't have a choice. Like she was like, I can't do this anymore. And I was like, he has to come out. Like you have to. And she found the way to do it. And so now my thing is this year is like, you know, like when people are like, you know, I don't feel like it. Like I always I'm like, this year I always feel like it.
Always.
Like I always feel like it. Like you'll never, and it's I got it written right there. I'm not tired. I always feel like it, and I have no excuses. That's just what it is. Like when I'm too tired to work out, when I'm too tired to I feel like it. I feel like it right now.
Yeah, because think about the zone you get into when you don't really have an option. You know what I'm saying?
When you don't have an option.
When you don't have an option.
She didn't have an option to get him out,
She
bro.
had to do it.
And she pushed for 3 hours, G. 3 hours, bro. It was the most beautiful thing and the most motivating thing I've ever seen in my life. Like, bro, ET, no offense, bro. No offense, ET. But, like, watching my wife give birth to my son was the most motivating thing I've ever seen in my life.
Nah, it's a blessing, dude.
Yeah.
Again, congratulations, bro.
I appreciate
That's
that.
huge.
I want to be respectful of your time and, you know, everybody on here. So tell us where we can find you. And then I always like to do this. Give me like a little nugget for the people. Like, you know, what helps you? Give me a phrase or something that keeps you going.
I would say for me, personally, pray, hustle, repeat, right?
Oh yeah, that's his stuff. Yeah.
100%. Pray about it, but don't forget to put in the work because it ain't just going to be given to you. Put the hustle in and do it again.
Yep.
Over and over and over again, and pretty soon you're going to be a better version of yourself. There is no man that works towards something diligently and consistently that doesn't get it. That's a fact. And no matter what it is, you'll find a way to get there. You just got to keep going and keep going. Even when it looks like you ain't getting anywhere, you're not getting shit done or whatever, you are. Odds are that you're further than you were 2 months ago.
Yep.
So just during quarantine, we shot 2 music videos, started getting everything going, got it set up, and now we got 12 songs on Spotify. And
yeah, so give me your Spotify and all of your links to all your music as well as your Instagram, and then give me the website for your merch as well.
Do Castro PDX, all one word, on Instagram. It is, just look up e.castro on YouTube. You'll find my videos. I think the top one's on there. And then for merch, right now I don't have my site set up. It's just on Etsy for now. Okay, cool. So look up the Watchers Apparel, all one word. So you can find me on there. Hopefully next time I'm on, I'll wear some merch so you guys can see it. Yep. And I'm about to get some of that right there. That's fresh.
Let's go.
Believe it. So, yep.
Man, thank you guys for tuning in. This was a dope episode. I haven't done it in a while just because I'm trying to get used to the balance with my son and my wife and taking care of my girl and taking care of all the other stuff. But this feeds me, man. I always feel so motivated after doing one of these. So we thank you guys for listening. This video will be on YouTube. I'll have it chopped up on Instagram for Edgar as well and for myself. And then you'll hear this on Apple Music and Spotify. And we'll catch you guys in the next one.
See ya. See ya. See ya.